We learned your French. We learned your English, your Spanish, your Dutch, your Portuguese, your German. You learned our nothing. You called us stupid. That's white privilege. And I'm sure it probably hurts for you to hear those two words, kind of like gunshots and explosions from those commissioned to protect you whisking past your ears. What is white privilege? It is the acceptance of bombs over Baghdad, but not over Boston. It is European history being taught as a major and African as an elective. It is learning about my people only 28 days like I'm not black every fucking second. It is every white boy who want to fuck my brains out, not because I'm pretty, but because I'm pretty for a black girl. It is people saying that black people destroyed neighborhoods, but forgetting that white people have destroyed continents. It is every time. Because every time I bring up my plight, some white man has to tell me that I'm crazy, but is kind enough to praise my English or say that we're all given the same opportunities, even though he has a family history of wealth, and I don't even know my family history at all. It is everyone who hears this poem dismisses all this truth I just spit as reverse racism. That is white privilege. Thank you.
Atlanta might have been called the Black Mecca, but it's still in the state of Georgia, in the heart of the old Confederacy, and one of the most racially polarized states in America. I started to grasp just how deeply race still cuts into every aspect of life here when I talked love, sex and relationships with performance poet Kyla and friends Delisha and Jasmine.
It's already difficult to explain to a man what you have to deal with as a woman, but having to explain to a white man what you have to deal with as a black woman is that much more difficult. Like, if I were to date outside of my race, he has got to be woke as fuck. Like, he has got to know. Because that was one of the things. It was like, why are you lighter than black people in Africa? Like, not even understanding how black people in America are lighter because of rape. But there are so many white people that don't know that. They don't consider black people come in different shades because slave masters would rape slaves.
Wow.
I work with majority white men, and they are terrified of me.
But I think that probably turns them on, like secretly. Yeah.
I think a lot. Can I just throw this into
I
the
don't want to
mix?
go to work Monday.
Can I just throw this in the mix? And if you're with a kind of liberal, nice white guy, he's probably also terrified of like the misstepping.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that as well. But like I said, my fear is a white man wanting to be with me, one, to prove that he's not racist, and two, to conquer some sort of, instead of just seeing me as a sexy person, seeing me as something to be conquered. I think that sometimes there is this dismissiveness of black culture and just not wanting to learn until it's time to have sex with a black person. Until they want to have sex with a black person, then all of a sudden I want to ask all these questions.
These things you've told me, what do they tell you about the kind of basic state of race relations in America at the moment?
White people see color at their convenience. And, well, let me rephrase that. White people always see color. White people only see color, and will only say they see color at their convenience. And for me, if I see somebody who is tall, they're tall. I can't deny their height. I can't say I don't see height. I see somebody's gender. I don't see gender. But somehow the thing that covers my body the most is invisible to you.
Yeah.
And for me, that's white people's way of distancing themselves from being racist instead of saying, hey, how do I check my privilege and help the situation?
Holding themselves accountable.
Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be the monster under the bed, right? Yeah. Like, so many conversations are white people are afraid of white guilt instead of white supremacy.
They're more afraid of the guilt than they are of the supremacy.
Right, exactly.